Hi, this is Miranda from My Scrappy Life and welcome back to the Crafty Maven Getaway YouTube channel. And today I am going to do multi-photo love. And here are my 3 photos that I have for, I'm going to do 3 photos in a block system for this layout. In this particular layout, I am doing 3 photos and then 1 grid where it'll be my journaling. And I'm going to be talking about my melting pot adventure that I had over one of the retreats that I went to in May of last year. And I took this Amy Tan, this acetate paper that you see right there. I just did a couple of different lines down the paper so I knew exactly where to draw the grid. And then I did a little bit of tape on this acetate because I don't want it to show through, but I wanted it to stay in place, obviously. And then I did 2 different types of stitching. I did just a normal straight stitch down it twice, like up and back, and then a diagonal like zigzag line. Now I noticed that this does move, and so you see that I'm sitting here waiting and trying to fix it, make sure it looks good, and you know, all of that, because I was realizing that it was moving. And here I am, I'm done, and you see that I get to fiddle faddle with all the paper. The one thing that I do notice that with the acetate, it does not like to push the thread through, because normally I can do this quick and I don't have to like edit this out or any of that, but it is, you know, you see me struggle through it, so it is real. And I'm just going to do a little bit of washi tape down the paper. And here's the washi tape, and then I do the other 2 and then it is done. So with this particular multi photo love that I am going to do, they are all 4x3 photos that I decided to put on here. So one of them is the meat experience of having the raw food come out and then we cook it ourselves with the cheese. The cheese came first, then the raw for the main, like the raw foods and stuff for the main course, and then the chocolate, obviously. And I do a diagonal style grid where my 2, like the papers and stuff, are going to be the same. So I started on one side and I do the exact same style of papers and everything throughout the whole section so that they match up diagonally. And I'm just going through, so I have this kit put together already, and it is for my retreat. All of my photos that I have from my May retreat that I went to, I decided to use the Dear Lizzie, the colorful collection. So I just collected pieces over time, and I have the paper pad, the 12x12 paper pad, and that's all I'm using. So once this kit is up, I am almost done with this collection, and also with this event, I guess, if you want to call it, in my scrappy world. I am trying to make sure that all of my photos and everything get done. I'm tired of, for me, one of my goals for 2019 is to finish up all of these little projects that I've started. I've already done 2 for the year of, sorry about that, the year of 2019 here. I finished 2, and this is hopefully will be my 3rd, so that I can be able to do the next, like the next retreat, which was in November. Here I am, I'm just getting the papers to match, and I do 2 diagonal and 2 straight, or I kind of like make 2 of the photos look a little wonky and then the 2 straight. And I didn't do anything really. The acetate already had spackles in it, and that sort of like splatters, how, you know, however you want to do it. So that was pretty much my background, and then the rest of it's just embellishing, and then it's like done. That's how easy this collection is for me because I absolutely love all of the colors. And then this layout is super easy. And then the other thing too is that I've realized that if I do 8.5 by 11, because all of my photos for my 2 retreats that I went to in the year of 2018, I had to think of what year I'm in, 2018, I decided to challenge myself and do 8.5 by 11 because this is how I used to scrap. I used to, back in the day, do 8.5 by 11 and then not even do 12 by 12s because all I could find at the time was 8.5 by 11 stuff. And I was like, you know what? I know I can do these. I can do what I do on a 12 by 12 exactly on this. Shoot, if I can take a cut file that's from Paige Evans and turn that cut file into a stitch and then in turn put it into my traveler's notebook, I think I can do 8.5 by 11s. And so this whole transformation of my retreat that I went to in May is all in one album. And both of the retreats that I did do were from the same person or the same person that put it on. One was in May, the other one was in November. I decided I'm going to put them all in the same album just so that it makes it easier and it makes to where I can flip and say, okay, these were the 2 retreats that I went to, like big retreats, not just like one day events or whatever, but bigger retreats in one album and look over time what we've done. And you know, friends have changed and meeting new people and all that stuff. So that's why I have what I've done with this collection. And the photos, really, what I do is that instead of just picking one good photo, it is fine even on an 8.5 by 11 to do 3 big photos like this. And they are big photos. I did a grid. It took up most of my paper, which is completely easy and content for me because that's less embellishments that I have to do. And I can still be able to journal. I still was able to add my title and still be able to put in the amount of embellishments that I normally do. I just cut it down to this and it works out perfect. And the best part is these layouts, when I do these, I can knock out 2 or 3 of them in like 2 hours, depending on like the extent of it. I was able to do this one. I wasn't doing a live, but a friend of mine was doing a live, and I was able to, the amount of her time of her doing her 12 by 12, I was able to get done with my 8.5 by 11. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then I turned around, stopped the film, took pictures, did all that, and then came back up and filmed another one. And it was, I would say I was probably done in about 2 hours. That's the one thing I like about 8.5 by 11s. It's easy to do because they're so much smaller. So not only am I challenging you to add bigger photos and add multiple photos, but try it on an 8.5 by 11 layout. It actually works out pretty well. And this grid layout works easier for me as an 8.5 by 11 because there isn't that much white space. Unlike when I do normally do grids, I have a hard time trying to figure out how to do them in the first place. And then second of all, it's also hard for me to embellishment it because I feel like there's so much white space. No matter how much mixed media I use or any of that, I feel like I have to constantly like, oh my gosh, I gotta look for things, you know, to put in those spots, which really I don't have to. It's okay to have white space. I must be chatting or getting something at that, so sorry about that part. But I do put down a couple of different weird things in here. An umbrella doesn't have nothing to do with this, but I love the colors. And then I added a flower, and then I added a meerkat down there, which again has nothing to do with this, and it's okay because the colors match perfectly. And I think I even state on that one banner, it says swim with mermaids. I'm not in a pool. I'm swimming in chocolate. And I have put some hearts on there, and I just decorated up the 4 little photos just a little bit and then called it pretty much done. I'm just flipping through all of my little bits of embellishments. Like these are, I have 3 of these. Somehow I ended up with 3 of them, which is okay because that just means I have just that much more embellishments that I can do on my 8.5 by 11s. But this is also how I can kill a kit too. When I do buy a full collection like this, I absolutely love doing these types of projects, because then I'm left with nothing. And that's probably why I don't have very much in my stash, is because I use up the collections and then I go buy more. I don't just, like, for me, I'm not one to just go buy. I buy like bulk of items and then I wait for a while and then I buy, use it down and then buy again. But I'm getting close to being done here. I'm just adding now the puffy stickers, and then I do my journaling and I talk about the adventure, about what I've all gotten. And my title for this one is going to be So Good, because it was really good. And I used up those Amy Tan stickers, was part of this kit that I got, because if I remember correctly, this kit came from the Secret Not Secret kit and I just built on it after that. And those are Amy Tan photos, or not photos, stickers. And on the front side it says so, and then on the back it says good. So that's what I decided to do. And the letters and stuff match up pretty good on the color combo. And then I just string it across, and then obviously the still shots will be coming up here soon. I hope that you like this. Make sure you go check out the Crafty Maven Getaway group. Come check out my channel if you're wanting more inspiration outside of this lovely channel. And I hope to talk to you soon. Bye!